Inside Huntsville with Brenda Martin, a conversation with department heads at City Hall on streets, ball fields, public safety, and more. And also with our community partners that add economic security, support education, and enhance the city's quality of life.
Hello, I'm Brenda Martin with Inside Huntsville. Thanks for joining me today. While North Alabama is often perceived to be the home of affluent and well-educated citizens, there is a population of homeless individuals and families living on the streets, in cars, or other emergency shelters. How can we as a community help? My guest today is Lineise Arnold. She's the Executive Director of the North Alabama Coalition for the Homeless, who will help to educate us about this community. Welcome, Mrs. Arnold. How are you?
Fine. Thank you for inviting me.
I appreciate you being here and share your views with our audience. Tell us a little bit about your coalition.
Okay, the mission of the coalition is to educate the public on homelessness, to coordinate efforts and resources into a seamless continuum of care so we can eradicate homelessness possibly in Madison, Morgan, and Limestone counties.
Well, now, when you say seamless continuum of care, what exactly does that mean?
It means that we should collaborate and work together to eradicate homelessness effectively, bringing our resources together, partnering, assisting each other in our agencies to make sure that our clients can transition from homelessness to self-sufficiency.
Well, I know you work with a lot of agencies in the community. How do you work with them?
We work together by partnering. We have strategic planning sessions. We have agency meetings every other month where we come in and we talk about issues that are currently facing our community and try to brainstorm to develop solutions in order to help the population that's out there right now.
So when you talk about brainstorming to bring about solutions to eradicate the homeless, what exactly are you talking about?
So it's basically we do a gap analysis. We talk to our clients and determine what their needs are, and then we evaluate the service that we currently have to discover where our gaps in services are. Then we look for possible funding streams or other resources that we can partner with in order to eliminate those gaps in services.
So do you have a pretty large staff?
Well, the administrative staff of the North Alabama Coalition for the Homeless is made up of 3 people, but we work with our agency partners, and working together, we're able to make effective solutions.
Mm-hmm. And where are you located exactly?
We're located at 1580 Sparkman Drive, Suite 111, Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay, so are people able to come in to your office to ask for assistance or?
Okay, the Sparkman Drive location is our administrative office. We have a satellite office located in the Huntsville Main Library on Governors on the 2nd floor.
Oh.
And that is the location that the clients are able to receive walk-up services. We're there Monday through Thursdays from the hours of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the clients are able to walk up and come in and get assistance, and as well as fill out their coordinated assessment. We help them with applications for other mainstream resources such as their food stamp application. We help them with their public housing authority application and other services such as that.
I was going to say, elaborate a little bit more on the services that you provide for them.
Okay. In order for a client to receive any kind of financial assistance through our HUD grants or our ESG grants, they have to be a part of what we call our coordinated assessment. And what our coordinated assessment does, it asks the clients a series of questions to determine what their vulnerability level is. Mm-hmm. It also allows us to be able to prioritize our clients based on the needs that they have, be it if the client may have a family, be it if the client may have a history of mental health issues or other things that may be impeding them from being able to be successful. And so in doing the vulnerability matrix, we're able to partner our clients with the agencies that have resources that specialize in those identified needs or gaps in services.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is your client population?
Okay. Now, our client population, we serve families, individuals, we serve unaccompanied youth over the age of 21 that may be homeless, that may have aged out of the foster care system. So we try to serve anyone that is either currently experiencing homelessness or about to enter the homeless arena.
So how do you get your clients? How do your clients know I think this is important here, that how do your clients know that you're available?
Okay, we do a lot of community engagement type activities.
Such as?
The Manor House. I'm at the Manor House 3 nights a week where a lot of our clients come to get food assistance. So we share our services and our resources with clients there that may present a issue that may say, well, I'm homeless, and then that's the opportunity for me to refer them to other agencies that provide services, as well as tell them a little bit about NACH. We also go out to community events such as churches and educate the congregation on homeless services, as well as different type of activities such as we have the Warming Center. That's a time when we normally have a lot of publicity when the cold weather comes in. At 35 degrees and below, we normally operate the Warming Center as a partnership with the Grateful Life Community Church.
Now, where is that? Where's the Warming Center?
The Warming Center is operated at the Grateful Life Community Church, which is located over on Oakwood Avenue. And the Grateful Life Community Church is a congregation of primarily homeless individuals or formerly homeless individuals.
Oh, no kidding.
And so basically during the cold months, some of the congregants remembered that what it was like when they were in that situation, and they stated, you know, we want to help our fellow congregants and offer a safe place for them to come out of the cold, because sometimes our clients don't always utilize the shelters that are available, maybe for different reasons. Some of them have anxieties and not comfortable in those large mass type of populations. So when Grateful Life is open, that normally gives us an opportunity to educate the community about homelessness and homeless services, because, you know, of course, during the cold time, it kind of brings more of an exposure on homelessness and the problem of homelessness in America.
How many homeless clients reside in Huntsville? I don't know if you have a number or you can give me that information, but approximately how many?
Yes. Every year we do what we call a point-in-time count, which is a mandate by HUD. And it's a time that we go out and we do a street count of all the individuals that may be living in the camps, that may be residing in shelters or any of our transitional housing programs.
So you actually go out, you and your staff go out and to these various locations and count the number of homeless.
Yes, as well as some of our agency partners. It's a collaborative effort amongst all of the community.
Okay, sure.
And so the last point in time count we did in January of 2016 revealed about 380 individuals in the Madison County area that were either living on the streets, in an emergency shelter, in a transitional housing program.
What are some of the challenges your organization faces when trying to eradicate homelessness? You know, sometimes I don't think people, because of where we live, people don't realize that we do have homeless here in the city, in this area.
One of the biggest challenges is trying to eliminate the stereotype of homelessness, because we do have a lot of our clients out there that have college educations. We have a lot of our clients out there that may have just came under circumstances that just life in general, such as mothers that were married and, you know, unfortunately found themselves either widowed or found themselves in a divorce situation, and they may not have been in the workforce when they were married. So therefore now they're faced with trying to find a place to provide for their children as well as themselves, and they may not have a recent work history. The lack of affordable housing in the area is always an issue because a person is considered housing burden when they are paying more than 35% of their income for housing, which includes their housing and their utilities. So if we have a person that may be receiving disability because they have a disability, that check is approximately $755 a month. So at 35% of $755, we don't have very many safe, affordable apartments that are under $300 a month.
Oh, sure. Oh my goodness. So what do they do?
So those are the times where we try to rely on our agencies, such as our Public Housing Authority, to try to offer subsidies, as well as some of our other HUD-funded projects, where we try to help the person get to a level of self-sufficiency by offering them supports for a period of time. Some of it may be where they receive a rent and utility subsidies, which will allow them the opportunity to go in and maybe repair credit or to pay off some bills that may have them at a situation where they can't afford full rent.
Well, now, is there an increase, or are you seeing an increase in homelessness in the area? And if so, what does the population look like?
Okay, so overall we're seeing a decrease in our numbers, but we're seeing an increase in our families that are experiencing homelessness.
Oh my.
We're being made aware of more families that are living in their cars. And unfortunately, we also see an increase in our families that have special needs children. So therefore shelters aren't always appropriate for them because of the behaviors of the children, you know, based on the symptoms of their illness.
Sure.
So we're definitely receiving more calls about people needing assistance with families that are on the street. We are definitely trying to encourage families to be able to stay together when there is a mother, father, and kids as a family unit that are experiencing homelessness. Unfortunately, we only have one shelter that meets that particular demographic population, and that is our New Future shelters, which only has about 12 beds, and they stay full all the time. So in those cases where it is appropriate, we try to offer some emergency assistance through hotel vouchers in order for us to give us a little opportunity to be able to do more of a evaluation and try to find more appropriate services for that family.
Okay, and so when you do that, where is the monies coming from to help you help them?
Okay, so in Huntsville, we receive monies from HUD, which allows us to provide supportive housing type programs. And it allows us to do programs like permanent supportive housing, which offers assistance with your rent and your utilities, as well as it offers a case management type service to help you develop the skills that you need to be self-sufficient. So we receive some funding from HUD. We also rely on our community support. We receive donations from different individuals in the community that contribute, and which allows us to have monies to pay for those emergency hotel vouchers, as well as we receive some funding from the city of Huntsville.
Well, now, how about, you know, when we're talking about partnering and partnerships, how about the many corporations and companies that are in the city? Are they aware of this need, and how, or do you go out to them and let them know that that you need their help?
Yes, we're always seeking opportunities to come out and do more community education.
Okay.
We do have partners that do a lot of in-kind donations, such as Frito-Lay. They definitely help us out when we have our warming center or we have any other type of events that we have our homeless clients. They provide products to us to be able to feed our clients, because when we have the warming center open, they're provided 3 meals and snacks every day that they're there. So, you know, of course, that food cost can be kind of expensive. So we rely on our community partners to help us with those type of expenses.
I would imagine you could use more.
Most definitely.
And here's a great time to solicit to our companies and corporations that that there is a need.
Right. So
how can they reach you or contact you?
Yes, they can go to our website at www.nachcares.org, and they can get in touch with me under the Director tab, as well as they can actually call our office at 256-261-3026, and they will get my direct extension. We also encourage our community to go to places such as the Manor House and just see our population, come to the library and interact with some of our clients. You know, if you just take the time to sit down and listen to some of their stories,
Yes.
you'd be amazed at the circumstances. Our veterans, we have our veterans that are out there that may be homeless, and even though we've been able to increase our number of supporting housing units for our veterans, we have a small population of our veterans, which is about 4% of our homeless population, that are primarily our dishonorable discharge type of veterans. But they may have dishonorable discharge statuses because they had a mental illness that did not get treated, so it led to behaviors that contribute to their discharge.
Okay, sure. And that was going to be my next question, you know, is our veterans population, but you say it's 4%.
It's about 4% of our client population here in Huntsville that are veterans. We have been able to be successful in increasing our veteran services over the years. In 2009, there's a program called HUD-VASH that's implemented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Public Housing Authorities. In 2009, we had 35 units. Now today, we have 128 units. So we've been able to increase our veteran units over the last 5 years, and that's been a great effort.
That's great. Your leadership in this area has been phenomenal, and we're really grateful to you for stepping up and being in this area. You work consistently in this area, and that we appreciate. What would you say has been your greatest accomplishment under your tenure? Because you've done a lot here in the Homeless Coalition area.
One of the things that I feel has been one of my greatest accomplishments is in 2009 when I became the director of the coalition, we were only receiving half of the funding that was available to our area from HUD for our supported type housing programs. In 2011, we were able to increase our funding to 100%. So we receive all the monies that are assigned to our area in our pro rata to provide homeless services, as well as I was able to do an evaluation of our current services. And based on some of my experiences, I worked with the Shelter Plus Care program of the Mental Health Center previously. That's one of the programs that's funded through our office. And when I sat down and I did our evaluation, I saw that there was an opportunity that we can increase the number of housing units that we had at the current level of funding that we had, because we basically were having a surplus each year. There was monies going back to HUD.
Going back,
right.
Yes.
And so we were able to increase our number of units under our Shelter Plus Care program, which is designed to help individuals that are either experiencing a mental illness, individuals that may have a substance abuse disorder, or individuals that may be diagnosed with HIV and AIDS.
Okay.
We were able to increase those units from 42 to 65, and without any additional funding from HUD.
Oh, great. Well, congratulations for that. We certainly needed that information. Mrs. Arnold, thanks to you and your staff for providing this viable service to our community. We certainly need it, but there's one last question I want to ask you before we go. My producer is telling me, wind it up, wind it up. What can the community do to help?
The community can get more involved. And when I say get more involved, present your time. Go to places like Manor House, go to our shelters, and actually interact with our client population. It's one thing to just write a check, and we definitely need funding.
Yes.
But it's a difference when you actually go there and you see where your contributions are making a difference with those clients' lives.
Exactly. That's our show for today. My guest today has been Mrs. Lineise Arnold, Director of the North Alabama Coalition for the Homeless. I'm Brenda Martin for Inside Huntsville. Enjoy your day.